Okay, I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run out, and it's safe to share this story on this day. It was one of the craziest moments I recall living in my dorm at MIT. If you want to see some of the characters involved, I'll link to a video I created using the audio from this story and images from back in the day. I can't claim that the names have or haven't been changed to protect the innocent. I can say that justice was served, along with some great wings. Enjoy the story.
Welcome to Grown Folk Stories, y'all!
So I had never actually been to Chicago before I really moved out here after college. We had I went to school in Boston, as I was telling you guys before, and I had a lot of friends who went to historically black colleges, and they would tell me that when they ordered pizza and stuff like that on campus, the delivery guy would never come to their dorm. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, they kept getting jacked, so we would always have to go to the gate because they wouldn't come on campus anymore. I was like, that's messed up. We didn't have that problem in Boston, and at MIT, like we weren't thugs like that. But we had a guy, my freshman, came in with me, and he was from Chicago, and he was a thug-looking dude. He was like, his brother was like 6'2", 6'3", and he was like 220, and he was firmly living in what we call the Tyson zone. Like Mike Tyson, where nothing he did surprised anyone. Anytime he did anything, he'd be like, yeah, I can see that, kind of like Mike Tyson. So, and every time he did something crazy, he would justify it to us by saying, in Chicago, that's how we do it. And we were kind of like, okay, well, we'll just let him do his thing because he's crazy. Like we, in a pickup basketball game our first year, he broke this dude's wrist. Like, just broke it. The dude was walking back to court and trying to put it back in, and it didn't. And he was like, in Chicago, you don't come down the lane. Like, you're like, seriously? What are you doing? This is like, we're in this gym with the student center. Or we're moving out at the end of the year, and this cab driver flips his door open while he's helping this woman with her bags, and he's blocking traffic, and my man lays on the horn on the U-Haul, and the cab driver just flips him off. And he just takes the door right off the cab. And he's like, I paid my $9.99 for insurance, so what the hell? Right? So, and we were always just, he was like, in Chicago, you don't block traffic like that. Every time he did something, he would say that. So, one day he decides he wants some wings, so he places an order and he calls the wing it guy to the dorm. So wing it's come in and they bring his dorm. And the delivery guy shows up. Remember, Aaron, he's like this big. And the wing it guy shows up, pays his money, and he's like, yo, give me a tip. And I don't know if this guy was either drunk or high or just stupid. Because he's in his face and he's like, you need to give me a tip, man. I'm working hard for this money. And I was like, yo, man, I got no money. We don't tip in Chicago. I'm going to and it's escalating. Everybody's like, man, this isn't going to end well. And to our surprise, they just parted ways. And Aaron goes upstairs to the dorm, but the wing it guy is not done. So the wing it guy follows him up the stairs to the dorm. And I had told you guys before, there's a black living group on campus called Chocolate City. It's next door in the same building where I live. We call it the Chocolate Suburbs. Because about a third of the black people on campus lived in this dorm. So we were tight like that. If there was going to be an HBCU on the campus, it was in that dorm. So the guy goes upstairs and somehow it de-escalates, and the guy is still pissed. You follow him up, and I was like, you need to leave now. So the guy goes downstairs, and I don't know what happened, but at some point, he said something to one of the sisters in the dorm, and either shoved her or spit on her or did something. And word got back to Aaron upstairs what had happened, and he just snapped, like Banner to Hulk, snapped. And just comes flying down the stairs. Everybody's like, yo, Aaron's going after the winged guy. And by the time I got downstairs, there were like a dozen brothers holding him back, holding the winged guy back. I come downstairs, I kid you not, the winged guy has 2 black eyes, and he's bleeding from his forehead in the door, still talking smack about this thing getting dead. And he's talking to all the brothers that have just saved his life. And somebody else comes at him, and we finally get him, like, dude, you need to leave now. And the winged guy, we never saw that winged guy again on campus. He never came to our dorm again. And now that I've been in Chicago for a little while, I see how you all do things here. I know the city a little bit better. And you know what? Aaron was from LaGrange.
Thanks for listening to this episode of My Home is Special. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to get future episodes automatically. You can go to myhomeisspecial.com to see the full project and sign up for email updates. Be sure to follow KBevPhoto on Instagram or go to kbevphoto.com to see what I'm snapping these days. There's a lot on both to explore. For now, this is Keith, aka KBev, signing off. Peace.